Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our panelists and to our viewers at home. My name is Mike Scott, coordinator for the Local Immigration Partnership, and I'll be your moderator for tonight's event. This is the 27th annual Welcome to Timmins Night and the first ever Welcome to Timmins Live virtual event. It has never been a better time to be well aware of the programs and services offered by our local nonprofit sector. We hope you will find these events both illuminating and engaging. This is the fourth and final volume of our standard programming, but we will have a special announcement from one of our panelists towards the end of tonight's show, so stay tuned. If you missed volumes 1, 2, or 3, you can view the recordings by visiting our YouTube or Facebook pages at Welcome to Timmins Live. Once all of our panelists are done presenting, we will close with a 10 to 20 minute Q&A session. Please enter your questions at any point under the Q&A tab on Zoom, which is down at the bottom of your Zoom window, or on the comment section on our Facebook Live, and we'll be sure to get you the answers that you're looking for. Our panelists are here to answer any questions you may have, so make sure to take advantage of the opportunity. Without further ado, it's time to meet our panelists. From the Timmins Symphony Orchestra, music director and conductor Josh Wood. From the Timmins Museum National Exhibition Center, exhibit researcher Caitlin Dubo. From the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry Bearwise program, well, they sent in a short video, but as I'm sure you can imagine, they've been quite busy this year, so they could not attend in person. But if you have any questions for them, you can reach out to them directly or shoot a question in the Q&A, and we'll make sure you get an answer. From the Canadian Snowbirds Association, we have Director Carl Simpson. From the Ministry of the Solicitor General, the Corrections and Recruitment Unit, we have Regional Recruiter for the North and Central Regions, Barbara Wenzowski. From South Cochrane Addiction Services, we have Addictions Counselor Carrie Ann Millions and Intensive Case Manager Kelsey Charbonneau. As a special guest tonight, we have Timmins Area Women in Crisis and their outreach worker Jazz Marshall and Second Stage Housing Coordinator Jackie Kay. From Réseau du Nord, we have the RIF Coordinator Thomas Mercier. And from the Timmins and District Multicultural Center, our final presenter, Executive Director Deborah Robertson. Thank you to all of our panelists for attending tonight's event. Before we begin, even though that we are meeting virtually, it is important that we acknowledge that we are joined in place on the traditional lands of the Matagami and Matachewan First Nation in the Treaty 9 region. I would also like to acknowledge the Council of the Métis Nation of Ontario. We would also like to thank our promotional partners, KISS 99.3, Moose FM Timmins, and My Timmins Now. Their annual support helps ensure the continued success of Welcome to Timmins Nights. Since this is the last volume of this unique Welcome to Timmins Live event, we thought we would open with a pandemic-inspired musical number from our first presenter, the Timmins Symphony Orchestra. Enjoy the show.
My heart will go on. Hi, my name is Josh Wood, and I'm the music director of the Timmins Symphony Orchestra and Chorus. I've had this job since 2016, and since I came to Timmins, it's been my real privilege to experience the musical talent, the creativity, and just the overall dedication to the arts, both within our organization and within the city of Timmins as a whole. The TSO was founded in 1979 and has become one of the largest performing arts organizations in northeastern Ontario. We have over 60 volunteer musicians from our community, and they are led and mentored by a core group of 4 professional musicians. Normally, our season features 5 main series concerts with the full orchestra and the chorus, 3 chamber concerts, and a monthly museum series, along with several other fun and fundraising events throughout the year. In addition to our performance season, we also run a music school where we offer lessons in all orchestral instruments, as well as piano, voice, music theory, and music history. We also have several school or student ensembles, including several string groups and an adult amateur wind ensemble, Second Wind. The current COVID-19 situation has presented us with many challenges, but we're doing everything we can to keep bringing music into the Timmins community. We have resumed in-person lessons and rehearsals, adhering strictly to all municipal, provincial, and national health guidelines, including sanitization and physical distancing. We have even set up, at our music school, a contactless video studio, thanks to an exceptionally generous donation from Bristol Integrated Technologies. If you're interested in auditioning for the symphony, joining the choir or adult band, or signing up for lessons at our music school, please contact our office at 705-267-1006 or via email at tsooffice@timminsymphony.com. Because of the pandemic situation, all of our concerts and performance events will be broadcast online for this season. Stay tuned to our Facebook page and to our website for more information. Thanks very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the broadcast, and on behalf of the Timmins Symphony Orchestra and Chorus, welcome to Timmins.
So I hope you enjoyed that musical number. Great to see so much musical talent still making its way into our community. So here's the contact information for the Timmins Symphony Orchestra. Our panelist, Josh Wood, did not make it in yet, but if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A. We'll make sure he gets them. So next up, we will go to our next presentation from the Timmins Museum National Exhibition Center.
We are the Timmins Museum National Exhibition Center. We have 2 galleries, a program space, and our 1930s Hollander House. We house over 7,000 artifacts and 25,000 images from the past. We also have a vast film, art, map, and archival collection, as well as an education collection that we can take on road with us. We are always looking for fun ways to share the local history of our community, so we invite you to join us on social media to follow along with what we're up to.
People who are looking for Canadian-made and locally handcrafted goods, our gift shop is the place to stop. We can proudly say that we are 95% Canadian and have new merchandise arriving weekly. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for gift shop promotions and flash sales.
When you visit our museum, you have the opportunity to see our permanent exhibit, Where We Stand, Stories of the Land. This is a new interactive exhibit on the history of the region that includes a VR experience where you can go underground and become a miner in 1912. There's also the opportunity to learn Cree and to learn about life in the past, up to 10,000 years ago to the present. There's a little something for everyone. We also have traveling exhibitions where we rotate exhibits about 8 to 12 per year in our Grey Gallery. You can also jump back in time to Timmins in the 1930s by taking a walk through the Hollander House. It's currently closed due to the public for COVID restrictions, but you're able to view it from the outside and its beautiful gardens.
The Prospector's Cabin is also currently closed to the public, but provides a glimpse into what life was like in the early 1900s for prospectors in the region.
We host various cultural events throughout the year that help to promote the diversity of the community. We work in partnership with local organizations to help bring these events to life that help not only to celebrate, but also to educate. For example, Treaties Recognition Week. We offer various types of programming for both adults and youth in the community, from arts and crafts to lectures and presentations. We typically offer in-person workshops throughout the year, but with current times, we've adapted to more COVID-safe programming opportunities. For adult programming, we've shifted our workshops to online. We will be providing a minimum of 2 virtual workshops per month, where all materials required will be provided at an affordable price. As for kids programming, we're sticking to crafts that you can complete in the safety of your own home with our Take and Make craft kits. They're offered every second Saturday, and they're free. Drop by and pick up yours. To find out more about the upcoming programming, stay tuned to our website and social media.
We also have an Indigenous mural in our programming space. We are also one of the lucky sites in town that displays an Indigenous mural. Come and visit to learn about Turtle Island and what the mural has to offer.
We're excited to have developed a membership program. There are memberships available for individuals and families. These memberships help support our local museum while also keeping you in touch with what's new and going on at the museum. As a bonus, you also receive discounts on workshops and inside the gift shop.
The best part about our museum is that it's free. Everyone has the opportunity to visit and walk away with something that they may not have known before.
So if you haven't been to your local museum lately, folks, I highly encourage you to check it out. There's so much to see and do. That VR experience of mining in the 1900s is incredible. Definitely a lot of fun. We actually have exhibit researcher Caitlin Dubo here tonight. Is there anything else you can tell us about the museum, Caitlin?
No, I think the video pretty much covers it. We just like to highlight that it is free for all ages, so come as often as you'd like, because we love to have people visit us.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Caitlin.
Thanks.
So for our next presentation, we have a short video from the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry Bearwise program.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Inglis, Provincial Human-Wildlife Interactions Coordinator. Bears have a very strong sense of smell, up to 100 times stronger than ours. So they smell our garbage from the woods. They'll come into our neighborhoods looking for that garbage. It's very important you put your garbage out only on the day of pickup and clean your containers after each use with a strong disinfectant.
So as I mentioned earlier, very busy summer for the MNRF. We don't have a panelist from them here tonight, but they do encourage you to contact them. They have a non-emergency contact line. So if you ever encounter a bear in your yard or in your neighborhood, make sure you reach out to them. So next, that brings us to the Canadian Snowbirds Association.
Every year, hundreds of thousands of Canadians head south to live abroad during winter. These travelers call themselves snowbirds. Several laws and regulations continue to threaten this retirement dream for Canadians. The Canadian Snowbird Association is a national not-for-profit advocacy group owned and operated by over 100,000 members. The CSA's mandate is to protect and defend the rights and privileges of Canadian travelers by lobbying for fair access to government services. Membership is only $25 a year. As a member, you will receive a subscription to CSA News Magazine, a Snowbird information kit, low-cost currency exchange rates, and much more. Call now and get a free copy of the CSA's Traveler's Report Card and learn how your government is helping or hindering your freedom to travel. Preserve your rights as a Canadian when you travel abroad. Join the CSA today. Call now.
So some very strong advocacy work done nationwide, and especially here in Timmins. We have a pretty high snowbird population, as you can imagine, with our winters. And I'm sure that the work that they're doing has only been increased in complexity due to COVID-19. We actually have Carl Simpson, the director of the snowbirds up here in the north. Carl, anything else you can tell us about the snowbirds?
I think it's important right now to mention the fact that we had just advocated with the Ontario government and Premier Ford and won our case to reinstitute the OHIP, which was canceled on January 1st of last year. The Supreme Court, with 3 justices, sided with us, and now it is going to be reinstituted for the Canadian traveler in the States. The other thing that's important is that right now we are advocating, and we have a bill in Congress with the senator from Florida and a senator from California who are lobbying through and with the Canadian Snowbirds Association to extend the traveling from 6 months, which is 182 days, to 8 months, which will be beneficial to all Canadian travelers. It's important now with the COVID that's going on that anybody that is traveling to the States, if you're not a member, you should become, simply because of the fact we have up-to-date, relevant information on all the locations down through I-75, 95, whatever, that are safe. If you're going to Florida, California, Mesa, Arizona, it really doesn't matter. We have the information for you. Also, the Canadian Snowbirds Association, myself, offer to anybody and everybody. I can do presentations to 1 to 5 people, of course, with social distancing and whatever. So I'm available. My number is there. And I thank you very much for allowing me to participate, Mike. Thank you.
No, thank you for being here, Carl. It's great to know that you're out there doing this work. So next up, we will turn to the Ministry of the Solicitor General Correctional Services Recruitment Unit for their presentation.
Hello, my name is Mark Smallwood. I'm the Segregation Sergeant at Toronto East Detention Center. I've been in this role now for a year, and I've been a correctional officer for the past 5 years. If an inmate is in need of something, I try my best to get it for him. I deal with a lot of special needs and mental health inmates, and in that role, you know, I tend to have a little bit more empathy for some of the inmates, and I think you need that in this job in order to do it correctly. My top advice for somebody starting a career in corrections would be you'd be able to be patient, you must have tolerance and humility. You got to be humble, especially when you're coming into a new job and learning from senior staff. You have to be able to take the good with the bad, and you need empathy. Empathy is very important in this job.
Great. So we have Barbara Wenzowski, the regional recruiter for the North and Central regions. Barbara, take it away. Oh, unmute. There we go.
There, I'm unmuted.
There we go.
Oh, that's a common problem with virtual these days. So thank you very much for having me. So I'm going to speak a little bit about the correctional officer position. Next slide.
Okay.
So the vision of the Ministry of the Solicitor General is to enhance community safety through effective inmate supervision, care, custody, and intervention. And this would influence positive behavioral change and reintegration of offenders into the community and have them be productive citizens. Our mission is to be a world leader in correctional services, and we do this by maintaining safe, secure, and humane institution environments and providing effective supervision of offenders in the community. Next slide. So the people that we serve in community services, these are adult offenders who are 18 years of age and over, who are on probation, have conditional sentences, or on provincial parole. This would be probation and parole services. Our institutional services, again, is both male and female adult offenders, and they would be people that are on remand, they're awaiting trial, they're being held for an immigration hearing or to be deported, or they're awaiting transfer to a federal institution, or they are serving a sentence of 2 years less a day. Next slide. So I am serving the North Central region, and in the North Central region, we have Monteith Correctional Center, which is near Timmins. We have Sudbury Jail, which of course is in Sudbury. We have North Bay Jail in North Bay. We have Algoma Treatment Remand Center, which is in Sault Ste. Marie. In Thunder Bay, we have Thunder Bay Correctional Center, Thunder Bay Jail, and we also have Kenora Jail in Kenora, and we have Fort Francis. Next slide. So a little bit about employee ministry inclusion initiatives. So we have these different employee networks. They are the Women in Corrections Network, our Pride in Corrections Network, our Cure Network, and our Nation to Nation Network. Next slide. Some of the careers that can be found in corrections, apart from correctional officer, we have administrative and support services, things like receptionist, records clerk, finance administrator. Of course, corrections and enforcement, we have probation and parole officers, correctional officers, rehab officers, staff development officers. We have health and social services, so we do employ nurses, psychologists, psychiatrists, social workers. In human services, of course, we have HR, labor consultants, occupational health and safety advisors, pay and benefits, to just name a few. Next slide. And we also have information technology for people who are interested in computers and technology. We also have investigations. We have our special investigation unit. Policy analysts. So we have people doing different programs and policy researches. Management, we have managers, supervisors, we have senior management, so that could be superintendent, deputy superintendent, regional director. So there's really a wide variety of career options within the Ministry of the Solicitor General. Next slide. So I'm going to go a bit into the correctional officer role. Next slide. So correctional officers, they are peace officers as defined by the Ministry of Correctional Services. They are responsible for care, custody, supervision of both male and female inmates, and they are representative of the full spectrum of the Canadian population. Next slide. Correctional officers do need to be alert and prepared to react to the unexpected and be able to handle a variety of difficult situations when dealing with an inmate population and be able to communicate effectively with a variety of people. They also need to be able to work as a member of a team of professionals in the care and rehabilitation of offenders and also be willing to work shifts. Next slide. So these are the essential skills for a correctional officer, being able to work with a very diverse group of people on a daily basis, definitely being able to work with inmates in a secure setting on your own and as part of a team, being able to exercise excellent communication, judgment, problem solving, and decision-making skills, and using those skills to recognize and assist potential crisis situations and being able to implement solutions to diffuse them. And doing this calmly and effectively in sometimes volatile situations and interactions. And lastly, being able to act as a positive role model, not only for inmates, but also for your coworkers as well. Next slide. So we are hiring for fixed term positions. So how are the shifts scheduled for fixed term? They are scheduled or unscheduled. They're primarily used to backfill for full-time staff, and they can be planned or unplanned absences. The hours are not guaranteed. It can be anywhere from 0 to 40 hours per week, up to and including overtime. So fixed-term correctional officers can be called, their shifts can range from 4 hours up to 12 hours, and it can be any day of the week, nights, days, weekends, and also holidays. Next slide. So the fixed term position that we are hiring for, so it means that we're hiring for a contract. The initial contracts are for 6 months, and then after that, there's an annual renewal. And this is based on your job performance and the availability of and the operational needs of the facility that you are currently working in. There is no defined period when someone will receive a full-time position. So what happens is you work a fixed term position and you get your seniority through the number of hours that you work. And as full-time positions do become available, they will look at the seniority of the fixed term officers, and the person with the next highest seniority would be offered a full-time position. The starting salary is $27.92, goes up to $32.83 per hour. And they do receive a percentage of their wages in lieu of statutory holidays, vacation, and insured benefits. Next slide. So the job requirements are for a correctional officer posting. You must be 18 years of age, have your grade 12 or an equivalency diploma. If you are educated outside of North America, so you would require to get an equivalency assessment done. If you are applying for a bilingual position, then your oral French skills must be at the advanced minus level. You need to be able to obtain your emergency first aid, your CPR, and your automated external defibrillator certificates. And again, you must be able to work all shifts, weekends, nights, days, statutory holidays. You definitely have to be able to work in direct contact with offenders on a daily basis. And you need to have proof of eligibility to work in Canada. Next slide. So a little bit about the application process. So if you want to apply for correctional officer, you would go to the address you see at the top of the screen to www.ontario.ca/careers. You'll see this come up on your screen, and you can pick either English or French, and you would see job postings in either one of those two languages. Next slide. So after you do that, and you go on and you apply to a correctional officer position that is posted, and we do currently have a live posting for the Northern Ontario area. So your resume would be screened, and if your resume is screened in, and I must stress that our process right now is very fluid due to the pandemic, due to COVID-19. Currently, as of today, this is what our process is. So if your resume does screen through, then you will be sent an email, and it would invite you to schedule the online test one, the Wonderlic. Should you be successful in that online test, then you will receive an email which will invite you to the React test. If you are successful with that test, then you will be sent an email, and it will invite you to a virtual interview and start the employment screening process. You will also receive instructions on how to register for fitness testing, which we call FitCO. If you're unsuccessful in any stages of our process, you will be notified and with any applicable information about reapplying to any future CO competitions. Next slide. So a little bit about the FitCO. So it was based on bona fide occupational requirements for the correctional officer position. So things that they will need to be able to do physically to be able to carry out their job. A passing certification is required prior to be considered for a conditional letter of offer. The FitCO test is at your own expense. After receiving a letter of offer, this test is conducted once again during our training program. Testing dates and locations are available through our participating community colleges. So just go to our ministry website for details. Our college down in Hamilton does provide free practice sessions. For any FITCO related questions, please contact fitco@ontario.ca. Next slide. During the interview, we explore your experience, your skills, your knowledge and abilities, and how it applies to the correctional officer position. You also need to provide 3 references at the interview, one of whom must be a current or former work supervisor. For the time being right now, we are conducting interviews virtually in order to protect everyone during the pandemic and practice our social distancing and follow public health and safety guidelines. If you go onto the careers portal, you will see on the left-hand side of the screen, you will see interview tips. So if you would like to learn more about how to interview for an OPS position, you can go there and get some interview tips. Next slide. We do have a security screening. Due to the nature of our job, all candidates must receive security screening. The price of this is anywhere from $40 to $75, and it is at the applicant's own expense. So some of the things that we check for is our vulnerable sector check. We do a credit check. We do a driving history, Canadian Border Services check. We also do social media. So things like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those things are looked at. So if you do apply for a correctional officer position and you're going through the process, one of the things you might want to look at is all of your social media. Next slide. So candidates who are successful throughout our process and are identified as one of the most qualified applicants will receive an offer of employment, and it will be conditional upon completion of the CPR First Aid AED certificates, a successful pre-employment medical, and a successful completion of our basic training program. You will discuss with someone which institution you will be working at once you graduate from basic training. Next slide. So our pre-employment medical. And candidates are provided with the documentation to take to their physician for the pre-employment medical should a conditional offer of employment be made. They are responsible for, as I said, for the cost of the medical and for arranging the appointment with their physician. Any medical contraindicators would be if their hearing is less than 15 decibels. If they're epileptic, if they have had seizures within the last 2 years. If they're diabetic, it's okay, but not if they're brittle diabetic. And you're able to wear glasses, but it must be corrected to these parameters on the screen. Next slide. We do have a diversity and inclusion scholarship. So our scholarship opportunity is up to $2,300. It will cover in cost for training, class, and accommodations. It is open to all students. It is an essay-based application, and the information for doing this essay is sent out after registration and before the start of classes. There is one scholarship awarded to Northern class candidates and another one awarded to 1 per 24 students per class. Next slide. So after you graduate from our our training program, you would start the on-the-job orientation. You would graduate and report to work the following week. You would receive an orientation to your facility, learn about the rules and institutional specific operational procedures. You'd learn more about the daily routines on the programs that are run there. You would learn more about the physical environment. Some of the facilities can be quite large and can take some time to learn your way around. You'd also learn about the programs that are being offered to the inmates. Next slide. For more information, please go to csru@ontario.ca. If you would like more information on the correctional officer position, oh, could we go back one slide?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Oh. So if you would like more information on the correctional officer position, as well as being able to see the assessment and selection process, if you go to the www.mcs.jus.gov.on.cs, then if you go there, you will be able to find more information about our processes. And again, to apply to a job posting, please go to ontario.ca/careers.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all that information, Barbara, and hopefully get some new recruits here in the near future.
So I just like to offer that we do have a northern posting right now. It is open and live until Wednesday, October 21st. For Monteith Correctional Center, we are looking for 20 positions. And for Sudbury Jail, we're also looking for 20 positions. Each of those places is looking for 2 bilingual positions, so 18 unilingual and 2 bilingual. It is a awesome career with many professional development growth opportunities.
Awesome, definitely.
So I encourage everyone. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead. All right, folks, so here's the contact information. We got some duplication here on our contact slide, but here you can reach them on Facebook as well. And next up, we will hear from the South Cochrane Addiction Services.
Hi, I'm Carrie. Hi, I'm Kelsey, and we work at South Cochrane Addiction Services in Timmins. At South Cochrane Addiction Services, we offer a variety of programs for individuals and their families who are seeking support in dealing with the harmful effects that alcohol, other drugs, gambling, and gaming can have on individuals. Our services are offered to individuals of all ages who reside in the South Cochrane district and are offered in both English and French. Our services are voluntary and confidential and are based on community and client needs. They are free of charge and funded by the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care, and our hours are Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, with the exception of lunch between 12 and 1 p.m. As a result of COVID, we have adapted our services to ensure the safety of our service users and staff. We are currently offering appointments via telephone and Zoom, and outreach workers have the ability to meet service users in person. During these appointments, outreach workers wear appropriate personal protective equipment and follow social distancing guidelines. We are also working diligently towards our goal of a recovery to office service delivery. Firstly, as per directives of the Public Health Ontario, we will ensure that all safety precautions and procedures are met to protect the health and safety of the public, staff, and community members.
Thanks, Carrie. I'll take a bit of time to share a bit more about who we are and what we do here at South Cochrane Addiction Services. At South Cochrane, we offer a number of services to help support each person's unique and individual needs. Being able to offer a variety of programs allows our service users to determine their goals, whether that be information sessions, harm reduction, or abstinence. All of our counselors are certified in facilitating the GAIN Q3 MI assessment tool. That's just a fancy way of saying we have the ability to assist individuals with a referral to a residential treatment service should that be their goal. Some of our community programs include, but are not limited to, the School Link program, which provides services on an outreach basis in schools. Students may access this program for either substance use of self or of a family member. This partnership was created to help our youth connect with services in a more accessible and confidential way. We also have the Family program. It is intended to provide family members with a basic understanding of addiction and the dynamics of families in which a member is addicted. Immediate and practical options are offered to help improve their lives. The program also teaches family members behaviors by which they can have a positive effect on their loved ones who are struggling with addiction. Another service offered by our agency is the Problem Gambling program. The goal of the program is to help persons who are having problems related to their gambling reduce their gambling activities to levels that do not cause problems, and to help compulsive gamblers abstain from all gambling activities. We also have a variety of other programs, such as the Smoking Cessation Program, Harm Reduction Program, Relapse Prevention Program, and more. In addition to these community programs, South Cochrane Addiction Services also offer intensive case management through our Addiction Supportive Housing Program and the Pregnant and Parenting Women's Program. The Addiction Supportive Housing, also known as the ASH program, is designed to assist people who have trouble maintaining housing due to their substance use and are looking to make positive changes in their life. Participants work with an intensive addictions case manager on a weekly basis to support participants in achieving and maintaining their individualized goals. The Pregnant and Parenting Women's Program also offers weekly appointments with an intensive addictions case manager. However, in addition to supporting participants in achieving and maintaining their individualized goals, this program utilizes a women-centered approach and seeks to support the mothering role to improve outcomes for their newborns, infants, and children under the age of 6, as well as to provide advocacy. If you are interested in our services, the referral process is easy. We accept self-referrals via telephone. We can be reached at 705-264-5202. When you call, you can expect to answer a few short questions, after which we will provide you with your counselor's name and appointment date and time. We also encourage you to get in touch with us should you have any questions regarding our services.
Thanks, Kelsey. Before concluding this short video, I want to take the opportunity to speak briefly about the Rapid Access Addiction Medicine Clinic offered at the Family Health Team location. The Rapid Access Addiction Medicine Clinic, also known as the RAM Clinic, is for people looking for help with their alcohol or opioid use. The addictions navigator, family physician, and nurse practitioners work as a team to help individuals overcome challenges with their substance use. The RAM Clinic uses evidence-based addiction care by combining medication with psychosocial supports. Individuals are welcome to contact the clinic if they are not sure whether their drinking or opiate use is a problem, or if they have questions about treatment. You can reach the RAM Clinic by telephone at 705-531-7226 on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays between 1 and 5 p.m. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak about our agency and services. We hope we were able to provide you a glimpse of what we do here at South Cochrane Addiction Services. Once again, do not hesitate to contact us should you wish to know more.
Awesome. So there's all the contact info for South Cochrane Addiction Services. We actually have Carrie Ann and Kelsey here tonight. Anything you'd like to add?
Just that we understand that people may be struggling, even so during the pandemic. And it's important to know that like our services are available to the clients, and that we've been open the entire during COVID. So
Great. Okay, good to know for sure. Thank you so much for both being here.
Thank you.
So next up, we'll turn to Réseau du Nord. My mistake. We'll turn to our special guest, Timmins Area Women in Crisis. And we will have Jackie and, Jazz here to talk to us and take us through their presentation. Take it away.
All right. So Timmins and Area Women in Crisis is a support crisis center for women. You can keep going, Mike. There you go.
There we go.
So our mission statement, we are around to assist women who have experienced any form of violence or abuse. We provide referrals, information, advocacy, accompaniment, and crisis intervention services with a non-judgmental and confidential approach. We work towards empowering women to become independent by supporting them in making healthy choices and achieving their goals. So what our main program is the Sexual Assault Center. So our services include a 24-hour crisis line, crisis intervention, support to mature minors aged 12 and above, safety planning, individual and group counseling, advocacy, accompaniments, which include 24 hours a day for sexual assaults, practical assistance, Zoom counseling, public education, family court support and information programs, clothing exchange program, the sex trade engagement project, human trafficking programming, we're also knowledgeable in same-sex partner violence, trans women inclusive, and we have a public education program.
Our women's shelter services include a 24-hour emergency housing for all women and their dependents that are 16 and up. We also have a 24-hour crisis line support. We offer second stage housing. We host a child witness and support program for children who witness violence. We do transitional housing support. We have outreach services. We are a designated Indigenous program. We have a healing room. We are harm reduction, and we are also trans women inclusive. Mm-hmm. So women stay in abusive relationships for many different reasons. Here's a little chart. Main reason is fear, because what can change in their life, right? So they can be threatened to stay in the relationship. Their religion won't let them leave their partner. It's really hard to change your lifestyle. You're used to a certain amount of money coming in. How are you going to support an apartment on your own? He promises to change. He'll go to counseling. The person is also very isolated, usually removed from their friends and family. And then they believe themselves that it's not that bad, that they should stay, like some people have it worse. And they actually love their partner.
So the YWCA Canada developed an infographic back in 2013 using University of Ottawa's criminologist Holly Johnson's stats in Canada. So there are 460,000 sexual assaults in Canada every year. Out of every 1,000 sexual assaults, only 33 of them are even reported to police. 29 are recorded as a crime. 12 of those have actual charges laid. 6 are prosecuted. 3 lead to conviction. So that means 997 perpetrators walk free.
So there's our crisis line numbers for both the shelter and the center. Our services are a little bit different with COVID, but we've been open throughout. The shelter is still accepting women and their children. We have a little bit of different rules, and the crisis center is still doing counseling to women through Zoom, and we are still a drop-in center for crisis intervention. Our clothing program is closed at this time, and we're not accepting donations. Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you for that presentation. I can't believe I almost forgot our special guests. Thank you so much for being here and presenting that information and update on your services. So here's a little bit more contact information for the Timmins Area Women in Crisis and how they can be reached on social media as well. So now, next up, we will have Réseau du Nord.
Bonjour tout le monde, moi c'est Thomas Mercier, je suis le coordinateur du Réseau du Nord, le réseau de soutien à l'immigration francophone du nord de l'Ontario. Puis aujourd'hui, je suis là pour vous parler de la Semaine nationale en immigration francophone. National Francophone Immigration Week happens every year since 2013 at the first week of November. This year it's going to be between November 1st and November 7th. It's usually a collective effort between the 13 réseaux en immigration francophone du pays, la FCFA, and multiple stakeholders in our Canadian communities. Timmins has been a big part of that in the last few years, organizing activities every year. Et c'était notamment le cas l'année passée avec 5 activités organisées par nos partenaires communautaires. Pour vous mettre un peu l'eau à la bouche sur ce qui s'est passé l'année passée et arriver à vous vendre l'intérêt pour la Semaine nationale de l'immigration francophone cette année, j'ai passé la parole à Basma qui a participé aux activités de l'an passé.
Mon nom c'est Basma et puisque je représente une participante parmi les participantes actives de l'année dernière, je peux juste présenter que l'opportunité d'avoir le centre multiculturel qui présente des activités, qui aide aussi à la collaboration et l'intégration des nouveaux étudiants et des nouveaux arrivants à Timmins. Et parmi vraiment les activités qui m'ont remarqué et qui ont vraiment attrapé mon attention, c'est l'activité des mets internationales. Cette activité dure et les mets d'autres pays. Et parmi ça, c'était aussi l'opportunité pour apprendre la culture francophone dans le Nord. C'est vraiment une activité qui est vraiment intéressante. Si vous ne me croyez pas, vous pouvez voir la suite.
Vous voulez goûter à mon pudding chômeur? Oui! Oui! Mais en échange, vous allez préparer quelque chose de votre pays? Oui! Merci! Moi, je suis ici comme présidente du Club Richelieu Les Perles du Nord.
On célèbre la Semaine nationale de l'immigration francophone et on a, comme vous voyez, une belle cuisine collective préparée par nos 4 chefs ici. Venez ici, les filles. Le but, c'est de célébrer en premier la diversité culturelle qu'on rencontre en immigration francophone à la région.
Mon nom est Multicultural. Je viens du Vietnam et j'ai cuisiné le pho. C'est le plus populaire du Vietnam. Alors, je voudrais bien que tout le monde ait aussi une chance pour goûter un plat que moi, personnellement, j'aime bien. Mettez dans le bouillon, il va être cuit parce que le bouillon il est chaud.
Ah, bon, OK.
Voilà. C'est vraiment un environnement que les étrangers comme moi peuvent sentir qu'on est inclus dans la société.
Je m'appelle Julia Mbala. Je viens du Congo, je fais les beignets.
Julia, l'expert en beignets, la congolaise.
Servez ça pour...
Ingrédients, les sortes de recettes à faire et ça m'a vraiment touchée.
Mon nom c'est Tina Kenfak, je viens du Cameroun et je fais du risotto avec du poulet.
Je m'appelle Basma El Girari, je viens du Maroc, je suis marocaine. Pour ce soir, j'ai cuisiné les crêpes marocaines.
Oui,
les crêpes à 1000 trous.
Les crêpes de quoi?
1000 trous.
1000 trous?
Oui, tu vois-tu combien de trous il y en a?
On voit les petits trous?
Oui.
Oh, ça commence déjà?
Ça commence déjà, c'est trop chaud. J'ai aimé toutes les nouvelles connaissances que j'ai faites ce soir. Surtout les dames, les autres étudiants que je viens de rencontrer pour la première fois. Les invités qui donnent des différents avis, qui vraiment motivent à préparer plus et plus, à donner plus et plus.
Tu connais le pudding chômeur?
Quand tu m'as dit le mot, par exemple, moi j'ai pensé au chômeur, c'est juste quelque chose par rapport au chômage. Mais je n'avais jamais pensé que ça reste une tarte, quelque chose comme ça. Comment est-ce que tu as fait ça?
Ah, ben c'est facile. J'ai fait le sirop, cassonade, eau, beurre, un peu de vanille, bouillir 3 minutes. Une préparation de gâteau blanc. Pouvoir partager ma culture francophone avec les autres cultures francophones, c'était merveilleux.
Ça, c'était vraiment... Oui, bienvenue. Hein? Ce sera le premier boisson que tu vas boire.
Unfortunately, this year with COVID-19, we won't be able to do the exact same amazing things that we did last year. But we are currently working on multiple online activities to offer to the Timmins community. On travaille notamment avec les partenaires communautaires en ce moment sur une cuisine communautaire virtuelle, sur un atelier de danse en ligne, sur une foire des passions. On va avoir une programmation virtuelle de la municipalité en ligne. On va avoir une page Facebook où partager notre artisanat issu de la diversité francophone et d'autres activités qui vont être développées au courant des prochaines semaines, des prochains mois avec plusieurs partenaires. We can also announce that we will have an edition of Welcome to Timmins between November 1st and November 7th during the National Francophone Immigration Week, where you will be able to meet Francophone stakeholders that offer services to our Francophone newcomers here in Northern Ontario. Pour en apprendre plus sur les activités qui vont avoir lieu dans les prochains mois, don't hesitate to go onto immigrationfrancophone.ca website, where you will be able to see all of the activities that are organized in Timmins, elsewhere in Northern Ontario and all over the country. Et vous trouvez aussi de l'information pour vous donner des idées d'activités organisées, du matériel promotionnel, ainsi que de l'information sur la thématique de cette année. Donc, je vous invite vraiment à consulter ce site internet-là et à nous aider à promouvoir l'immigration francophone partout au Canada. And I'm sure Timmins will make a great job this year again promoting francophone immigration. Thanks a lot.
That's awesome. So I think I heard that right. So we are having a special edition, francophone edition of Welcome to Timmins Night. So November 4th, during Francophone Immigration Week, we will be hosting that event. And we look forward to showcasing all of the great francophone organizations that exist here in Timmins and throughout the North. So next I'll turn to Thomas. Thomas, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Réseau du Nord and Francophone Immigration Week?
Merci. No, honestly, I don't have much to add. We are currently working with different organizations in Timmins to plan our activities for the first week of November. We will have more or less 5 activities again this year. And I think everything will be ready, like in more or less by mid-October, we'll be able to promote like the activities and give you the official schedules of the event. So stay tuned, stay updated, restez à l'affût. Puis on vous tient au courant dès que possible des activités qu'on va réaliser.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Thomas. So next, we'll turn to our last presentation of our standard programming, an organization that holds a special place in my heart because it's where I work, the Timmins and District Multicultural Center.
Welcome to Timmins, and welcome to the Timmins and District Multicultural Center, located at 130 Spruce Street South within the Michael J. Doody Center of Excellence. The Timmins and District Multicultural Center is a not-for-profit immigrant settlement service funded by Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, the Ontario Ministry of Community, Children and Social Services, the Ontario Trillium Foundation, and the City of Timmins. We were founded in 2010 under the direction of the Timmins Economic Development Corporation, and in 2014 we became a satellite office of the North Bay and District Multicultural Center. We offer a diverse set of services for newcomers to Canada, including one-on-one appointments, information sessions, group activities, community orientation, referrals, and programs to support timely community integration. All of our settlement and orientation services are free. To schedule an appointment with one of our settlement workers, please call 705-221-8622. We are excited to have recently launched the Welcoming Communities program, funded by the Ontario Trillium Foundation. Our Welcoming Communities Coordinator focuses on matching newcomer individuals and families with community volunteers to assist with the social side of settlement. This program will also include a number of community events throughout the year to help newcomers and volunteers build social connections. This program was originally conceived to support integration and retention of newcomers coming to Timmins through the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. However, it will be available to all registered clients of the Timmins and District Multicultural Center. If you are a newcomer looking to take advantage of this new program or a volunteer looking to get involved, please contact our Welcoming Communities Coordinator at 705-221-7691. We also house the Timmins Local Immigration Partnership, which was founded in 2009. There are currently 77 local immigration partnerships across the country funded by Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada. The TLIP, as it is commonly known, aims to increase our community capacity to successfully integrate newcomers by fostering strategic partnerships between key agencies and local stakeholders. In the past year, the TLIP coordinator has worked on projects such as the Welcome to Timmins Night, regional and national immigration conferences, the development of an English as a second language program, and a volunteer resource center. Do you have an idea for a community project that will involve or benefit newcomers? Contact the TLIP coordinator at 705-221-8622. COVID-19 impacted our ability to meet with clients in person. Throughout the course of the pandemic, appointments were held via Skype and Zoom. However, since September 8th, we've been able to offer in-person appointments and have the necessary PPE and other precautionary measures in place. This includes a dedicated client station in our settlement office, which is cleaned thoroughly after each appointment. We also have gloves and masks available for clients who do not have them. We often have new and exciting full-time contract positions throughout the year, as we frequently participate in NOHFC and FedNor internship programs, as well as the Canada Summer Jobs Program. Keep an eye on our social media accounts and our website to stay up to date with job opportunities, Canadian immigration news, and exciting news from our partners. We hope you've enjoyed learning about the Timmins and District Multicultural Centre. On behalf of our staff and our board of directors, thank you for watching.
Great. So yeah, I don't know if anything looks familiar. Maybe the voice sounds eerily similar to mine. So we actually have our fearless leader, Deborah Robertson, Executive Director of the Timmins District Multicultural Center. Anything you'd like to add, Deborah?
Hi, good evening. No, I think that was a great overview, Mike. Just to say that, as you said in the video, we are still accepting appointments despite the current pandemic, and we're doing so in accordance with all the most up-to-date health advice. But we are obviously still offering remote services via Zoom, telephone, email. So if you're interested in volunteering, or if you are a newcomer to the area, or if you're new-ish to the area, then do reach out. Our settlement services really are adaptable to the individual needs. So reach out and see if we can help.
That concludes our presentation of Welcome to Timmins Live, Volume 4. A recording of the full presentation will be available shortly on our Facebook and YouTube channels at Welcome to Timmins Live. Et gardez un œil sur nos pages Facebook et Instagram à commercial Welcome to Timmins Live pour plus de détails sur l'édition spéciale de Bienvenue à Timmins Live qui aura lieu le mercredi 4 novembre à 18h30 pendant la Semaine nationale de l'immigration francophone. Nous aurons la chance de rencontrer le Centre culturel La Ronde, le Centre passerelle pour femmes, le Conseil scolaire public du Nord-Est de l'Ontario, l'Université de Hearst, le Réseau du Nord, le Collège Boréal, et la Société économique de l'Ontario. Once again, on behalf of myself and our organizing committee, I'd like to say thank you to our panelists and our viewers at home. Thank you, merci, miigwech, stay safe, and have a great night.